Is Mussar. What you do, your yi'ud, what you have to do, that makes you happy, makes you oinig, enjoyment. So we explained that the yi'ud of the world is chesed. Yehud, like the why Hashem made this, the sun goes out, chesed. Yeah, the sun goes out is chesed. The food, the land brings you food is chesed. All the world is kulei chesed. Kol haolam kulo chesed. Olam chesed ibone.
How do you spell the word
Yud? Yud. Hey, Yud, hey, Vav Dalet, maybe. Yud, no.
Yud, hey, Vav Dalet.
Maybe with Ayin, Yud, Ayin, Vav Dalet. Yud, Ayin, Vav Dalet. Okay. So, the Mussar Askel is that we have to basically, we learned yesterday, we have to enjoy your pleasure from what do you say there? Chesed. Your definition means that
Purpose?
What?
The purpose?
When you do, you have to. I give you.
Purpose?
Yes, purpose.
Tachlis?
Tachlis. Same word at time, but the tachlis of not. You have a lot of tachlis. The real tachlis, the essence. When you do your essence, what you have to do, that makes you get the tremendous pleasure. It means a person doesn't do what he has to do, he doesn't get the pleasure. I give a mashal in a world understanding. A person is under to understand the concept, and that gives you a person to understand him. So what I mean, a person by nature that has to jump, run places. And for him to be I say chenvani, superman.
Security guard.
No, security guard. Chenvani, I say chenvani.
Storekeeper.
No, the one on the sells in this morning milk.
Clerk.
He has a store.
The milkman.
Milkman. So a person by nature, let's say, two type of people. A person's nature, every day they get up this way and he has this way. So him, to go out of his nature to be a business person, so this person is a chenvani. The person by he goes, sells, and every day gets up. So him to be a business person, it goes against his nature. But a business person, you put him to be a chenvani, is also against his nature. If he pushes himself to be a chenvani, he'll go crazy. He's frustrated. And the chenvani, put him to be in the business, running around, you feel frustrated. Because he's not doing a kondatev. This is the world.
Why don't you use the example of Pharaoh and Egypt?
Power.
The men did the men's job, the men did the women's.
Yes, the same way, very good. It's a very good example. A man does the woman's job. If a man in the house is not a man, he's a woman, it means he doesn't do.
Wash the dishes.
Not to wash the dishes. Not the dishes. Not the cleaning of this. It means his essence is not a man.
He has no control. The woman does
Again,
everything.
is the essence is not a man. But if he is frustrated, and the wife is frustrated, because if the wife she comes the man, she's frustrated because by nature a woman has to be lead. She wants the husband to tell her what to do. She wants to help her husband. Her essence is as a connector, not to be the boss and to tell her what to do. It's against her nature, and if she does that, she's not happy. She doesn't get the enjoyment. A person has to do his essence, what Hashem made him for. When you do your essence, what Hashem made it for, you feel pleasure, you feel good. You don't do your essence, what you have to do, what happens? You're frustrated. The first They used to say it. You have to. We had in Yeshiva Vad Mussar and all these things. You have to know yourself to know to do really what you have to do in your life. What is your obligation in life? What I have to do in my life. So the Dimyon tells you, the imagination tells you, I'm this, that. Why? My teacher told me this way. My girlfriend said that way. My friend told that way. And they have all these names that tell you who you are. The friends, people. And you make yourself an imagination who you are. But it's not really who you are. You're frustrated. You're real frustrated because you don't do your essence who you are. The way the person does a piteva, his essence, what he has to do, he is tremendously pleasure. He has all the pleasure. That we learned yesterday. That was we talked about it there. You have to do your essence who you are.
Yes, so the Gemara said a man was created to be owner of the Torah.
Very good, very good. And I'll tell you one thing is, if you take a person, sit on a couch, let's say for 10 hours, he's frustrated. Why? He doesn't do nothing. Sit on a couch and after 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Look at someone at the hospital.
What?
Someone in a hospital bed. Someone in a hospital bed.
Right, listen.
Frustrated. Why? Because he can't move for weeks.
Now move. It makes you. Gemara says B'nei B'choiza. The Gemara says B'nei B'choiza. This place in Europe, in the time of Bavel, they used to be working people. If they did not work, they had to pay them because they needed work. Opposite. Usually, work people work. If they didn't work, they feel for them it was like frustrated. Why didn't they work? Because their body has to work. Pick up bricks, pick things. You know, they're like working people. If they didn't work, they feel frustrated. They didn't work. So what do you want to say? It's like,
what about this term here? I heard someone say, "Ani mishuman."
what?
Ani mishuman.
Ani Mashwama.
Shlomo.
Very good question. You see, very, very good flash. A guy, I'm a shuamam. Shuamam means in Hebrew, shuamam means I'm bored. Chazal says us, Chazal tells us, not Chazal, Aim kol chatos. Aim kol chatos. The mother of all the sin is what? Boredness, not to do nothing.
Where does it say that?
It's a Chazal. I can find it for you. Aim kol Chazal. I think it's the Ran and some Rishonim says it. But what loud? Yeshemu, Yachet. You said Batal is a very Chazal, but it's language. Batal Yeshurichet. Again, we don't do a person is born to work. Adam Nivra la'amal ulad. If you don't work, you're frustrated. It's funny. You go against your essence. You're not doing what you have to do. You're not doing what you have to do. So you take a person, you put him in bed, he sleeps on a couch. He sleeps for 2 minutes, he's resting. If they worked hard. But if he's a couple hours, what happens to the person? He goes, his mind, his body, he goes crazy. Because it's against his teva. It's against his nature. The nature is the person is born to work. A person that is born to do mitzvahs. We'll talk about it soon when he talks about it. But we have to do is our essence. What Hashem gave us in life, Hashem gave you essence. A man has to be a man in the house, and it has to do his essence of learning Torah, do the mitzvahs. When you do that, you feel enjoyment. When you don't do your essence, what you have to do, then all the psychiatrists and all the people come involved, and people they start to take drugs. Why? Because they are frustrated, they're not doing what they have to do. So they're running away from themselves, who they are, and it doesn't solve the problem. It gets worse and worse and worse. Because you have to do what you have to do. It's like you take a machine. It has to produce hot, a machine that produces heat. And now it's not producing heat. So then the machine is frustrated. It's not producing what it has to do. Every person has a tachlis.
So you give gasoline, diesel gasoline to a regular gasoline car. You give the wrong gas to the engine.
They said that it's exactly the thing. So one of the things Listen carefully. One of the things the Rosh Hashiva Zechatzar used to say, Mordechai, Tavin Anglit? One of the things Rosh Hashiva Zechatzar used to say, when you have children, a grandfather looks at his grandchildren, he has to learn the character who they are. It's not the learning. They know the nature who you are, because later when they grow up, you're able to use the character to help them to grow who they are. You see, people think till 1 year old, 2 years old, 5 years old, you know mitzvahs to do really, but these days soidos. And you're only 6 years old, they start to do mitzvahs and then put tefillin and later. So what you do till then, they play all day, do what they want. It's a mistake. That time you learn your children and your grandchildren have the character who they are. And then they're able to educate them to know what the character who they are. You know the nature who they are. Then you can go with their own nature. To know your nature of your children. So you have to know who you are, to know you have to know yourself. And now you have to know children, know that they're able to know, to correct them, to able to grow. Then when you do according to their own nature, they're happy. They don't leave Yiddishkeit. They don't leave Hashem's ways. Why? Because they do according to the natural they are. But if they go against the natural they don't feel, they're frustrated. They're frustrated. This is the mitzvah of Teva. So basic is, we said, if you do according to your nature who you are, according to Teva, you grow, you feel the enjoyment. Let's start again. Kol davar, oineg ve'eden, ubedavar sheni v'olezeh. Everything that enjoyment and it gets from something is creative it. Lemoshel. Adam is eineg boy b'achila v'shtia. A person has enjoyment from eating and drinking. Sheniva bezeh. It's created lichsa bezeh. You have to want for that. Like a desire for that. V'oretz machina lefono machol. Ze teva kol davar lasos ma sheniva lezeh. Bezehu azeh v'zehu tanug. This is the pleasure. When
if you're hungry, you eat.
And you get the enjoyment.
So you're enjoying.
Right.
That's it. That's simple.
V'ina
If I'm
nachoi.
hungry and I eat, it's a pleasure.
Pleasure.
I feel good.
You feel
If I'm
good.
thirsty and I drink,
Feel good. When you do, you have to do, and then you feel the pleasure.
if I was
Well, let's
thirsty and
say-
someone gave me food,
And let's say eating. Let's say, wait a second, Yaakov. Let's say eating. You don't have to eat. You already ate already. Now they give you more food. You don't need to eat. You feel the pleasure? You don't feel the pleasure. Or you don't take the food you have to eat. You don't feel the. You're also losing pleasure. So this is Hashem made by food. But now let's talk about chesed. והנה אנו רואים בטבע הבריאה, עולם חסד יתבונן. Hashem made the natural, the creation of to do chesed. הכל בחסד, everything comes from chesed. השמש מאירו, לא תדירו לו, מסורת שומרים, משמעות, הכל בחסד, everything is the chesed. לולא החסד, אנו מסקיים. without chesed, the world is basically collapsed. אם כן, אנו רואים כי טבע אדם, עולם, הבריאה היא חסד. אם כן, אדם צריך להסתגמור בחסד, person, because the natural טבע is with chesed. We have to do chesed. Yank is a teva, but there's a natural creation. וזה העונג לדור לעשות כמו שהוא דן. העונג, when you do according to nature, that Hashem made it. Now you don't do it. What is the first step? Listen to the question. Listen carefully. Listen again to the question. Listen carefully. You're not listening there. Listen. What is the first step that a person wants to do chesed? Which thing he has to work on?
Himself.
Discipline.
What?
Himself.
Seder.
Not himself. What?
Yeah, that's the first
Order.
thing. To understand.
So-
to
You have to
get
understand the other
pleasure
person.
from doing hesed.
So listen carefully. The first, and the first pula, the first pula I heard this thing from a Samami. I heard this from Zvulun Graz. He was a Talmid of Sami Sabotkin. And he said the key of Chesed is to smile. The Kabel Kol Odom Seven Palim Yofis. Write it down. To accept everyone with seven Palim Yofis. It starts with your face. Accept your friend with a nice face. You hear me, David? That's the key. The first key. Mafteach. So that's the key. I don't say you don't have to work on everything. You have to work on everything. But where we want to start? Lemaisa.
What is that doing? In other words, you're saying you should help somebody else be happy. When you're smiling, you'll make somebody else smile. And they'll be
Very good. But more than smile.
Yes, it is making somebody else
Very
smile.
good, very good. But it starts two steps. David, don't go with that. The first step is you have to seven Palim Yofis first accept what?
That was the first time on today.
The first step is what? Accept your friend. To make a person with seven. What is seven Palim Yofis? What is the word? Mekabel kol odom b'sever panim yofis. What is the word seven panim yofis means?
With a good face. With a good.
This is the pshat. Everyone has a svara. Sever is like a svara. You understand everyone. I understand everyone. I understand when everyone. Next step is making me happy with him. But the first step is I understand you. I understand you. The first step, I understand you. Who you are. I understand my friend. This is the first step. Second step, I'll be happy with my friend. Third step is give a good smile to your friend. Give him ready a good feeling, a good word. Give him a good word. This is already the third step. But the first step is what? Accept your friend. You look at your friend and once understanding means understanding. Your understanding means is you accept him.
No, it's the second step.
The first step is to understand. The seven part of your office is to accept him and understand him. This goes together.
How do you understand your friend?
How you understand him is when you accept him and you understand and accepting goes together. No, first or second.
How do you understand him? You have to analyze him to think of
Analyze him and you accept him and understand him. When you understand him and you accept him, then you're able to. Second step is what? You're able to make him. Then you can be happy with him, and the third step you make him happy.
It's not
You
that
pull
you
him.
understand
So then you make a difference. So what is the point? Boys, I listen to this side, David. There's a bigger side there. In the face of a person, and the same second, and the same person, and the same second, I accept him, I don't accept him. I understand him, and your own face, you already can see it. When I don't say I go like this, I don't. On the spot, already you don't want to deal with him. Your face goes like that. So your job is v'kabel kol odom b'sev panim yofis. Accept everyone b'sev panim yofis. It means understand him, accept him, and understand him who he is. When you do that step, then your face able to relate to him, There's before even smiling to him. It's before smiling. There's only to accept him. Because already here, but not before here. It's in the mind, in the head, before your face, in the head. You have to accept him, your mind, understand it. Then the second step is a smile. And then you understand him and you're happy with him. Then you smile to him and give him a good feeling. And then you say, the first step is it came a good word. Not only the first is not only you accept him, not only you understanding, and you're happy with him, and you make him happy. You say him a good word. You say him a good word, and that good word, what it does, builds him up, picks him up, That good word picks and builds him up. That El Gufa, when a person does that step, this is chesed. This is chesed. Chesed is when you accept Kabel Kolodom Save upon him your voice. This is chesed. Because you're doing chesed to a person by doing that. They asked, Shlomo Zayin Auerbach, he said, but what is this big nisayon? What is his avodah when he's old as age? He said, so I say, it's not only older, it's also when he's young. Beginning. It's a concept. The concept is basically what that concept is? Chesed. Chesed is the other person. Picture in your mind, understand, accept the other friend. Understand your friend. Be happy with your friend. And give him a good word. Say a good word to your friend. This is chesed. With words, with a good word, you're able to pick up your friend, you're able to build them up. It doesn't cost money. It's not only do chesed. People with chesed is only, the Gemara says, chesed begufay, tzedakah b'mamoino. The Gemara says in Gemara's Chazal. So everybody thinks that talk about chesed means money. Is not money. Is not connected to money. Is your own body. Tircha. You have to matriach yourself. Is to accept your friend, understand your friend, be happy with your friend, and give him a good word. Then be smile, give happiness to your friend. So you say a good word to your friend. This is when you know that secret. That basically what gives you. And you know this is enjoyment. And put it to your head. Is a natural way. When you do that, is the biggest enjoyment when a person starts to what? Work on his face. So Shiva Tzachar says it cannot be a boy in the Aspi Shiva, the face is not happy. You're learning Torah, now you know you have to be always your faces, but if you know your face is for others, you say the same as Samami. I heard this thing from Shimmy Green. I heard it from him. From Sammy Sabotki said, all your body is covered, but only two things are not covered: your hands and your face. Why? Because basically is you give for others. Basically giving for others, not just it's giving for others. That basically that is ogufa for others, your faith, the Sami Kabyof is for others. This is chesed and this is daka. Chesed, you have to give.
Rabbi Schultz, they come inside a always smiling.
Yes, you have the chokhmah is, right, the chokhmah starts with what? Accepting. And remember, accepting, understanding the other person. And then what is the understanding? What is then? Be happy with him. Make him happy and say a good word to him. This is chesed. These are with words. You say chesed with words. It's not just, it doesn't cost. You have to be poor and you do chesed.